Good morning guys, it's Jenny here from JustJenniJournaling. Welcome back to my channel. Quick flip through today. I might do them separately actually, of the 3 TNs. Latest TNs I've been working on, Traveller's Notebook style. They're from, decided to call this collection the Bygone Blooms Collection. And there are 3. So this one is the Patchwork Chintz. This one is Flora and Fern, and this one is called Rustic Reflections, and I'll go through them all as we go. So each of these are 20 centimetres high and 11 centimetres wide. They have different pages, page numbers, so they will be priced accordingly. But this one I've decided to call Patchwork Chintz. So they all come wrapped in with a little bit of tea-dyed vintage chintz too. And the covers are all sewn. And if you can see, they're all got layers, different layers that are sewn on. So this one has some vintage upholstery fabric, and the chintz with its kind of, which I love this, the colour swatch numbers and whatever it is on the edge. I've decided to keep that in. I loved it. And then this isn't vintage, this little tape, but I thought it looked lovely and layered again with just some square. It's like a book cover, an exercise book cover that I have. So they're one signature. So inside and out, this is reinforced with vintage fabric. And let's dive in. This one has 92 pages all in all, and 94 pages, which is 188 sides. And back and front they are lined with this this beautiful textured paper from my arts and crafts little pad, and they're lovely. They have a very, very William Morris style. They don't say that they are actually, but they do have that kind of style on them. And so front and back, they're lined with those papers, and have journaling cards as well too. So you can use these in another project if you like, another journal, or keep them in. So let's start. So the idea of this is from Nik the BookSmith. This is one of her collage pages, which is beautiful, and I popped it onto some what's it called? It's a pre-dyed kind of vintage style paper. And this paper here is from Sketchbook, so it's a really is it 120, 160? I'm not quite sure. It's a really lovely, heavy paper, and I've raided my stickers for embellishing. So there's lots of embellishing, but I've done it in a way that so it's stickers, washi, vintage postage stamps, all for my stash. I've decided to let go, and so you've got lots of interest, but lots of journaling space. So that's for my vintage fashion stickers book. I love it. That was from a botanical, yeah, I'll list it down below. So this is from my Mr. Marshall's flower book, the book of the medieval, not medieval, yeah, Mr. Marshall, his collection, and he, so the different pages of that in here. Love this, love this. And the tea dyed, that was from a little book on English sort of countryside and flora and fauna. I don't know if you can see this, if you can see, it's beautiful washi. It's my newest washi that I've got from Rosie and at our atelier, and that's featured throughout all 3 journals. Some of my vintage postage stamps that I've had in my stash for ages. I thought I'd pop in. Oh, and some of the little journal flashcards from Mrs. Cogg's Craft. This is from her range. It's, what's it called? Journal phrases and prompts, I think, from a vintage book that I have on birds. I think it's a Reader's Digest one. I wouldn't say vintage, it's probably from the 70s, I think. But I've tea dyed it, coffee dyed it. I love it. I love the way it looks. And if you can see these beautiful, the little details on this washi, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So there's plenty to look at. And this is from another book that I have. I have 2 or 3 copies of this, and I think the centre page comes from that one on this one, is it? Can't remember, but we'll get there. Another Reader's Digest book on garden planning. Beautiful. Little bit of stamping that I've done on the edge here. A book on herbs. Got a big book of herbs. I've got 2 or 3 copies of this as well. A bit of layering here. Just found a little bit of my 1940s music paper on my desk and thought I'd add that. I just love the way this little stamp here picks up on the tulip. In fact, I've just been to the post box, and in one of the gardens on the way up to the post box, I've seen my first tulips for this summer, actually natural, you know, in the garden. Oh, I love this. And I just thought, again, dove into my vintage postage stamp stash and decided to pop that on there because it really brings out some of the tones of orange from a Mr. Marshall's book. So this one is, I got all my pages ready and I got all confused. So this ended up with more pages in than I had planned. And so out of the 3, they're all priced accordingly. They're all priced, so the others are a little lower priced because they have less pages, but the embellishments and the style is still the same. I just love that. I love that cornflower. I've got 2 or 3 of these as well, this book. You can see that. Yeah, I think, you know what I will do, because sometimes I can tend to rush through these, flip throughs. A little quote from Mrs. Coggs on my washi. This is from a book about vintage fabrics. It might be my Kath Kidston one, I'm not sure. Vintage fabrics I've used for, I had 2 or 3 of these and used them for my scripture journals. I hope you can see that beautiful image there. How gorgeous that is. Just a couple of goodies in there for you to journal on or to stick somewhere else should you like. There's another little tuck spot there should you wish to put something in it. It's really up to you. Another one of of Nik the BookSmith's beautiful pages. Love that. Just a little art book that I had. This is from a Ladybird book. It's beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. In fact, I used some of the cherry blossom, I think, in my Mary Poppins book last year. But if you can see, I decided to pair it with that lovely postage stamp there on that side. This is a little bit of, I had this, I think it's from some Happy Mail, like a swap I did with a friend in the States a couple of years, maybe 3 years ago, and I just had that and I thought I'd add it in there because it looks really gorgeous. That's the centre of that one. It's beautiful. Book on English cottages and their gardens. I've got paper is a beautiful weight. If you can see that, how gorgeous that is. So yeah, I think I will film these separately so that you don't have to go through a whole, if you're interested in a particular one, you can go and look at the others if you like, at a different, you know, but they're all available. And again, just a couple of little cards, journaling cards tucked in. Love these ladies, and I thought the colours went really nicely with the paper with a beautiful rose. So as I said, oh, lots of places to journal, lots of different textured papers, different colours, but I did want, kind of got carried away, so most pages have a little visual interest. I love that, I love that. It's from my newest stash from Rosie, vintage postage stamp. I love this book. One of these, oh yes, junk journal, that's on there. One of those ones that I stumbled across in a charity shop ages ago, and I reordered. I managed to find more copies because I love it. Love that. The other side of the Mr. Marshalls. Just done a little bit of layering here again with some washi and some of my vintage postage stamps. I don't know if you can see how beautiful that is. That. And again, tried to, so that's just a little bit of stamping on each side. On the, and you've got your butterflies. So there's, I think in each there should be obviously the florals, but from this particular book, I think I've tried to pop butterflies, a butterfly page, and a bird page as well in each of the journals. I've tried to. Penny for your thoughts. I love that. Journaling prompt. That's the bird page. If you can see how beautiful that is. One of my favourite pages. I just love these berries. I love that image, and I just love how the little washi scenery, washi scene, picks that up there. And again, I love the colours. I tried to match. It actually took me a lot longer than I had anticipated to embellish these, because when you're looking through the big sort of dish of stamps that I have, it took me a while sometimes to find the right shade of green that I wanted for a particular image. But I think it's worth it. I think it was worth being patient and accentuating colours. So that's the back. As I said, as you can see, it flips out. So I love those. I love those. And that's the back here. So as you can see, there's a little bit of sewing on the. This patchwork one. So this is Patchwork Chintz, and should be available in my Etsy store. If you go to the store and it's not there, then it's been sold. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do will be Flora and Fern. I shall do that in the next video. Take care, and thanks for joining me. Take care, guys. Bye bye.